Now have a look at this. This is so tender. You don't need a knife to cut it. It just, dissolves. Servus and welcome to Flo's German Kitchen. I'm Flo, this is my kitchen, and I show you how to cook the German way. Today we're making Szegediner Gulasch, and Szegedin doesn't sound very German, and it's the truth. It's supposed to be originated in a Hungarian town called Szeged, but actually this is wrong. It is named after a Hungarian writer. But it kind of traveled to Germany through Austria. There were times when Hungary and Austria were kind of united politically. So a lot of recipes just traveled across the not existing borders. And so it came to Germany. I have no idea if in Hungary original people eat this, but in Germany it is a classic. It is a goulash made from pork. A lot of onions, sauerkraut, beef stock, sour cream, tomato puree.
It's called tomato paste!
Bacon, couple of spices, and of course a good guzzle of German beer. Wunderbar. First thing we do is cutting the onions. From the amount, the onions are about the same amount as the meat. This is close to a kilo of meat and a little less than 1 kilo of onions. You see a couple of red onions. That's got nothing to do with the flavor. I just had them and they need to go before they get spoiled. So adds a little color to the recipe, although probably in the end you're not gonna see a lot of the color. I cut it in pretty thin half rings. Some people cut it more coarse, but yeah, that's the way I like it. If you like a bit more chunky pieces of onion in your goulash, just cut it to bigger chunks. And this is gonna take me another couple of minutes, so I'll just make a cut here. So a nice batch of onions. That's already all the preparation. So next thing is to get my stove and we're gonna start cooking. Here we are. The fat is already hot today as we're making pork. I'm using some delicious pork lard. I haven't set the stove on full power because first thing is I want to render out more of the fat of this lovely bacon. This is actually optional. I just think a little bacon spices up every pork dish, so I'll start with that. If you could smell that, just the fragrance of the bacon and the lard is already so delicious. This is going to be absolutely great. And you can see there is so much more fat that released from the bacon, and there's gonna be more when I add the meat. So lots of flavor. Fat always means flavor. So let's add the meat. I didn't want the bacon to get too crispy. That's why I started with low heat, but now to get some brown, some roast flavors on the pork, I turned up the power to get these roast flavors. As I added a lot of meat to the pot, the first thing that happens is that some of the water in the meat
gets released, and you will have it kind of cooking. You just need to wait until the water is evaporated again and the fat will stay, and you will get that brown, slight but delicious crust on the meat. So that just needs some patience, but that's always good when cooking, to be patient, to just get the most out of what you're doing. And in this case, this is my choice. Some people would just put everything in the pot, but I want the roast flavors from the pork, and then I'll remove it, and then I want to roast the onions so that I got the roast flavors of both the meat and the onions. Some people just start with the onions and add the meat as it is, but yeah, I like the roast flavors too much to just give them up. Yeah, this took quite a while because a lot of meat in a relatively small pot. It just takes a while for the water to evaporate and to develop that brown crust on the bottom of the pan and on the meat. But we want that, so it's worth spending the time. Now I guess this is enough. I will remove the meat and then just continue cooking the onions in that delicious, lovely fat of the bacon, the pork, and of course the lard.
So we go on with the onions.
Now let's stir these guys. Beautiful onions. I love onions. And what you can see here is that the crust that developed on the bottom of the pan when I fried the meat, it already has dissolved because the onions also released that juice, and that's also some sort of a deglazing process. So you get all those flavors already soaking into the onions. And if you could smell that, you got the meaty smell from the bacon, from the meat, and now you got the onion roast flavors. Yeah, it is lovely. Now you can see the Maillard reaction that starts from the onions. Time to deglaze, but before I do that, I want to add some tomato paste that adds a little umami when it roasts. And also, yeah, you roast it to get rid of the slightly bitter flavor of the tomato paste that just goes away when it gets roasted a little. And this is so fantastic because, yeah, you can just smell it, how the combination of flavors, of fragrances builds up with every piece that I add, with every ingredient. This is like a good piece of music building up, and now the best flavor of all will come. I deglaze with a good, and I mean a really good guzzle of beer, once for me, and the rest is for the goulash. And now we want all those roast crust from the bottom of the pan to get into the liquid. This is the time when I also add the meat again. And fill the whole thing up with my broth. This is actually beef broth. I, for some reason, never make pork broth. And now one thing a lot of people do, which I forgot, is that they also, just for a couple of seconds, roast the paprika powder. You can see this is kind of two-colored. I added some cayenne pepper to the sweet paprika powder, just, yeah, to give it a little kick on spiciness. Also some salt. Should be enough. So that's it for now. I reduced the temperature to 100 degrees so that the meat just simmers. That's gonna take 45 minutes to an hour. Just let it simmer for the meat to get soft. And while this beautiful dish is simmering, if you like what I'm doing here, if you like this channel, if you like German cooking, there is a ton of ways you can support my work. Of course, you can like this video, you can click the hype button, you can subscribe to my channel, you can share the video with friends, and now you can also become a channel member and get some extra perks. Plus, you can buy one of these wonderful t-shirts. Multiple ways to support my channel. So yeah, just do it. Most of it doesn't even cost you a penny. Now this meat is gonna simmer for about 45 minutes. I guess I'll have myself another beer, but before that, of course, you cover everything. I'll see you in 45 minutes. Let's have a look at this. This has been cooking for, yeah, it was more than an hour actually, but that doesn't hurt at all. It just gets the meat more tender, more soft. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, and actually there is not much to do. All it is putting kraut into that wonderful Szegediner Gulasch. This is my own kraut. I fermented it myself. If you want to know how to make your own sauerkraut, here's a great video about that. So let's put it in. Oh, there is a juniper berry. I don't want that in my goulash. And what I did before, I just poured out the liquid of the kraut. You don't need to strain it. Yeah, just pour it out. This is around 400-500 grams of sauerkraut, enough for that portion. And also, I put that aside earlier, is the sour cream. We add, let's say, half of it and keep some, because later on it will be a great joy to just have some of the cream on your plate and then mix it with the goulash on your plate. Now about the kraut, this is pre-cooked already. Before I put it in the jar, I cooked it so that it gets preserved. Therefore, you don't need to cook the kraut here very long, just say 15-20 minutes. That will be enough. And then we can already start serving this lovely, lovely Szegediner Gulasch. I'll put the lid back on. Enjoy my beer and see you in a couple of minutes. Yeah, here I am in front of my computer. I could be spending the night watching football or something like that, but I screwed up the audio of the following part of the video, and now I'm sitting here trying to overdub my own voice so you can hear what I actually said in the video. Yeah, if you don't hear me gulping down my beer or stirring in a pot, you know why that is. Still, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. No, you're not in the wrong video. We're still making Szegediner Gulasch. This is the side dish. I just fried some wonderful Schupfnudeln. That's a Swabian potato pasta. If you want to know how to make your own Schupfnudeln, have a look on this video. And now we're gonna get to serve these Schupfnudeln together with our Szegediner Gulasch. So I put this behind me, get the goulash, and we have a look at that. Ah, that looks great. Yeah, this is really, really tender. You can see the liquids reduced quite a bit. The sour cream made a little bit of an emulsion, but actually I did add a little bit of a starch slurry to just, yeah, thicken the goulash a little more. This looks perfect. It smells perfect. And yeah, let's see how it looks on a plate. I'll arrange that, take a couple of pictures, and then I see you for the tasting.
Here it is, my lovely Szegediner Gulasch. I can't wait to taste it. Now have a look at this. This is so tender, you don't need a knife to cut it. It just, yeah, dissolves. Yeah, wonderful. Now let's see how it tastes. Yeah, this is great. The meat is absolutely tender. The sauerkraut adds a juiciness to the whole thing. Sometimes when you braise meat, it just tends to get a little dry. But with the kraut it gets so juicy. And here's the sour cream. You can add it and just sear it in to get a bit more creaminess. Tastes even better. Now we get the Schupfnudeln. Schupfnudeln always go fantastic with sauerkraut. If you wanna know how to make kraut Schupfnudeln, here's another video. It's great. And yeah, I just wanna go on eating that. Yeah, this is a perfect thing. Tender and juicy pork. Crispy Schupfnudeln. That touch of sour cream. It is lovely, well balanced, just great. And I really celebrate that. I celebrate German cooking. You celebrate German cooking. Cheers on Szegediner Gulasch. Wunderbar.